Welcome to London's craziest gangster with me, Mr. Fish, Keeper of the Dead Man's Bible, Crab, all the rules of society are thrown tossed and washed away. Today, I'm gonna talk about the new generation. I don't believe we as the older generation crash, yeah, give the younger generation the respect they deserve, you know? We always hear about them in the media and everything bad, and we just label them all bad. Like, it reminds me in the old days, like when one black geezer did something, the whole black, all the black people was labelled with it. And that's what I feel is happening to youngsters today. But I think more annoying than that is the fact that we always talk about them, but why don't we talk to them? And not only talk, why don't we listen to them? I've noticed that. And I think, I think we underestimate the obstacles that the new generation and young adults, 40, 30, face today. You know, in our day, we could get a job, tell the boss to, and get a new job in 5 minutes. You know, you can't do that now. You know, but we have to appreciate these youngsters. I mean, come on, they got flair, creativity. I mean, they're all getting high grades at school and university. You know, uh, some of them are footballers, some of them are builders, plumbers, some of them are boxers. They're still, they're still trying. They're trying to succeed, yeah, lawfully. And they always get overlooked. But even those who take the other path, crash, yeah, even those have a big, massive obstacle. But they're still good ones. They still have loyalties. They still have morals and principles. But they've just been slid to the side, yeah, and forgotten about. And people like me and other people, we always say, listen, I've walked with them, and that's what a lot of adults have to do. You got to walk with them and work with them. They have saved me and brought me back to YouTube, and watching them and learning about them. Listen, their love for each other is second to none. We have, like, for me and us, our soul generation, we got flats, rooms, and properties. Have you tried to get a property now? I had one guy, yeah, and 40 years old, and he had his own place, and he just moved back with mum and dad, and he said, do you know what hurts me the most, Fish? I said, what's that, son? He said, the fact that I'm 40 and I still haven't got my own place. I mean, how sad is that? And we take it all for granted. Yeah? We just sit there, the young. Mate, the obstacles that they face today are 50 times harder than what we faced yesterday. And we have to understand that, yeah, and appreciate that. We appreciate because we got to understand. I remember being in prison, yeah, crash, yeah, and boys used to keep coming back, and I was like, why you keep coming back, boys? You know what I mean? Like, come mate, the idea of the game is not to get caught. But you know what the problem was? They were saying to me, Fish, there's nothing out there for us. Because if you haven't got a good job, crash, or apprenticeship, then it's like you have to turn to crime. And when they said that to me, I suddenly realised, yeah, I understand. And that's what a lot of us older generation have to understand. We understand it's not as easy for them today as it was for us yesterday. Secondly, you have to understand the younger guy that they have been sat in front of a telly since birth. So the telly and the social media has become the childminder. Now, crash, how's your father? Yeah, if you sit in front of a telly from the moment you come out of your mum's womb, more or less, you know, till 5 and then go to school, well, you have to remember, when they get to 18, all they've seen is nice things, cars, celebrities. They want to be those things. They want to, you know, because the telly is their inspiration, their aspiration. Crash, yeah. They want to be them things. So you can't blame them if they don't get a job or can't get a job, we should say. And crash as your father, they take the other path. No parent wants their child to take the other path. They don't. And most children don't want to take the other path. They choose it because they see it as the only viable way they can keep up with today's society. And it's sad. You know, it's sad. I mean, I don't condone violence or crime. Never would, never will. But it is very sad, you know, that these kids are placed in that position. And you know, we were lucky. We didn't want a horse. I mean, always cowboy films, Charlie's Angels. But we didn't want a horse. We didn't want the magic roundabout. These kids have been persecuted since they come out of mum's womb with the TV. I want. They see a car, I want. They see a hat, I want. You can't blame them for trying anyway, by any means, to try and get those things when they get older. Yeah. Sometimes, crashing as your father, yeah, we don't filter down to the new year. They don't always see how hard it is for the parents, you know, how hard it is for the parents have to work to get the things that they're wearing. And some kids don't even see or realize their parents have to work that hard to get the things they wear. And so when some of them, you know, not all of them, you know, break the rules, you know, they're trying to aspire to what we have or what they think we have. And we always seem to put them down, you know. There are so many great kids out there who go to school, who go college, who box, who play football, who get good grades at school. Come on, man. They're aspiring, man. You know? But, you know, the opportunities they have are not as many opportunities as we have, you know? And I just feel that we need to understand that the younger generation do have laws and they do have principles and they are good people. We must stop letting the media put us in this fear factor so we become scared of our young, you know. Well, we can't be scared of it. Impossible. Yeah, because we done exactly what they done with the challenges that faced us. That's it. End of story. We're not better than them. And, you know, if anything, they're more intelligent than us now because they have this middle class education. And, you know, it's made them intelligent. It's made them more money aware, how to control money better. You know, they do well this new year. You know, not all, but some. And it's the some that we need to be talking about. You know, if you're a good kid crash or a good young adult and you're like, you always feel as if you've been forgotten, you know? And with the street kids that have to, you know, that follow the other path, you got to remember for them, it's very difficult for them because where do they get their credit from, their appreciation from? Where do they get their you know, confidence from? It's very difficult now. And it's for us to give them that, to talk to them and listen and give them and tell them that we're proud when they do something. Crash out your father. It's for us. We do not seem to be asking the young men, the young ladies, you know, we don't seem to ask them how they are anymore. We don't ask them what they're doing and show interest anymore. You can understand why they go crazy. And another thing people need to realise about a good education, because all kids get that kind of good education, that middle class. You need to understand if you have a good education, yeah, and people say, oh, get a good job, and you'll be all right. Woo! Yeah. People forget, yeah, when you listen to those who tell you that, and then you go out and you work hard, you sacrifice everything, you follow the rules, and you get to the top. You go to university even. How many people go to university now? Crap. You can't all go get the same job. So when you go to university, or a thing like, and then you got a wicked intelligence, and then you can't get a job. Do you know what? Crash down your heart. Please believe when you receive. Trust. You start to hate the society you can't belong to. You know? And so we have to understand the changes that are being made. And so we can hopefully allow our children to adapt to these changes. But it's very difficult because we're all going through this new era. Mums are learning about social media. Dads are learning about it. We're all learning this new era. Yeah? AI. We're learning it as it comes along. And so for a lot of people, it's crash, trial and error. You know what I'm saying? It's hard work. And, you know, the moment we stop putting down the new generation and understanding that, you know, their problems, their issues, their headaches, you know, then maybe we can work together and try and find solutions to these problems. You know, one carries a knife and stab, we blame the whole lot. But it's not like that, you know. And sometimes these kids, when they're stabbing people, they get it off the TV and the video film. And, you know, I know I'm not saying video game and the cause, because I love video games, right, mate? I love every video game going there. I love them. But for us, sometimes, not everyone understands what it does to them until it's too late. And so that's why I had two guys that used to watch Grand Theft Auto, and then they started, kidnapping the prostitutes for their money. They was only 15. They got IPP. They got a video games. You understand? So we as adults have got to stop saying that the new generation don't have more, because they do. We've got to stop saying that they don't have creativity, because they do. We have to stop saying they don't think, because they do. And we have to stop saying they're not intelligent. They are. Just don't look at the few, look at the all. You know? But understand the times we live in. That is the important thing for me. It seems to me everyone's just so happy to say, the younger generation, no respect, no principles, no. If you're saying that, then you're not mixing with them. You don't understand them. Okay? So crash, please, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Let's respect them. Okay, because it's difficult. And where knife crimes become a factor and guns have become, they have massive obstacles in that regard. Because some of these kids that have followed the other path, their education has come from the telly rather than the old soldiers from the street. And that is why I believe they're so violent in their actions, you know. It's only because that's where they've learned it from, TV films, computer games, and because they think that in the real world, that's the way you have to be. No, just some. And I never blame TV and video games for everything. Impossible. There are so many reasons why so many reasons why the younger generation are struggling today. You know, very difficult. You know, you live in London, like we do. It's very difficult to find a place to live, and you've lived there all your life, and you got to move out, and then you got to try and mix with other people. And it's funny when you come from London because Crash. If you ever come from London, go to another area, they always look at you like you're stuck up or things like that, don't they? You know? And then, you know the worst thing I hate about parents? You know, one of the I hate this, when parents say to you, oh, I'm moving to the country with my children, London's too violent. And one thing I understand is the countryside is just as violent, if not worse, than here. Because in the country, oh, mate, let me tell you something. Their violence is totally different from ours. Their mindset is totally. You know, I've been in prison, mate. It's a dangerous place out there. And how many parents have moved to the country thinking they're going to keep their kids safe, and then their kid has been a victim of the stabbing endemic. That, well, you know, we say stabbing endemic because everything's forcing us to say stabbing endemic. But we had stabbing endemics, but it was we always put our stabbings down to the criminal fraternity, and so and because the media wasn't like it today, it didn't filter down like it has now, you know, and so now crashing as your father, we are you know, people scared. How can you be scared to go out to a group of people like who you loved, you nurtured, you put your coat over them in the rain? How can you be scared of them? You you can't be scared of your kid. You can't be scared of your kid. Impossible. Not after everything you've done for your kid, you know? And that's why I love single parent. Oh, I hate it when people say they must come from single parent. Listen, single parent families do very well, and some of their kids are A-star grades at university and in school. So we mustn't ever blame one for. Yes, they might be some, but that's in every every population, every country, every tribe, wherever. Yeah. So I just wanted to say to the new generation, respect. Respect for trying. Respect for having a go. Okay. Respect. And one more thing I will say. I remember I had to give a speech in a school, and all these kids were sitting there, and the probation service, all this social service, all there, you know, to help. And I went in, and I saw these kids, and they're all sitting there, and all these people, and they're going to go to jail, and, you know, be mass murderers. And I was like, I looked to them, and I just thought, do you know what, gentlemen? Crash out as your father. You have to understand. I said, you lot ain't going to prison. You're not. I said, the only reason you're sitting in those chairs is because you are disappointed. Disappointed. Disappointed with something that's happened to you in your life. And that's the problem with a lot of youngsters. They're disappointed. They're disappointed and they don't know how to communicate that disappointment to people who can help them. And so they go wayward. You know? Disappointment is a massive emotional factor that drives you down the wrong path. Yeah? That's what people don't realize. And people are disappointed with what they can't aspire to, what they can't achieve, what they can't buy. And it's all right, oh yeah, but everyone else does it, but hey, not everyone thinks like you. Not everyone's lucky enough to live like you. You know, I'm not making excuses, and I'm not condoning crime. I'll never do that. But I'm just telling you, to find a solution, we have to look at reasons which we might not want to look at. You know, that's the reality of where we are today. And so this podcast was just to say to all you youngsters out there, the new generation, the younger male population and woman population, you know what? Good luck to you and respect to you. Be proud of what you've achieved. You know, life's a struggle. And I'm not here to influence anybody, but some of us forget the terminology. What you call crime, crime, crash. What you call crime, others might call survival. Crime might be called survival. You have to put yourself in their shoes. Anyway, I just thought it would be a short book. I just want to put it out there. I just believe that the young need more credit than they deserve. Guys, remember to smack it, lick it, touch it, kick it. Whatever you do, just hit it. Okay? Hit it to subscribe to keep the show alive. I'm coming on strong all year long. Let's do it together. Cry!